Welcome to Beyond the Pages. We're so excited to have you join our community. Here, we dive deep into the stories that move us, the ideas that inspire us, and the knowledge that empowers us. Think of us as your guide through the vast and wonderful world of books and beyond. We believe that every click, every share, and every subscription you make truly fuels our passion. Your engagement is what allows us to keep bringing you these explorations, to uncover hidden gems, and to spark meaningful conversations. It's your one-click effect that amplifies our efforts and helps us reach even more curious minds. We're dedicated to creating content that enriches your perspective and sparks your imagination. So, if you're ready to explore, to learn, and to connect, we invite you to join us. Please consider liking this video, sharing it with friends who might enjoy it, and subscribing to our channel so you don't miss a single adventure. Thank you for being a part of Beyond the Pages. The ordinary morning of January 15th, 2009, New York City. It was a cold, bright winter morning, the kind where the sunlight hits the icy streets and steam rises from the city's breath. At LaGuardia Airport, passengers of US Airways Flight 1549 boarded their plane, an Airbus A320 bound for Charlotte, North Carolina. It was supposed to be just another short, uneventful flight. Businessmen checking emails, families chatting quietly, a few sleepy travelers closing their eyes before takeoff. In the cockpit sat Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger, a man with over 40 years of flying experience, calm, disciplined, and trusted by everyone who flew with him. Beside him, First Officer Jeff Skiles, skilled and confident. At 3:25 p.m., the engines roared to life. Another day in the sky, or so everyone thought. 2 minutes after takeoff, climbing through 2,100 feet, a shadow flashed across the windshield, and then chaos. A flock of Canadian geese struck the aircraft. Thud, thud, boom. Both engines went silent. The airplane suddenly became nothing more than a 70-ton glider. In the cockpit, alarms blared. The smell of burning filled the air. The aircraft started descending rapidly. First Officer Skiles called out, "We've lost thrust on both engines." Sully's voice, calm, unshaken, replied, "All right, we're going to need the APU." Started. While others might have panicked, Sully didn't. He had one mission: keep 155 people alive. Air traffic control immediately came through the radio. US Airways 1549 turned back immediately. You can return to LaGuardia. But Sully quickly scanned the data. Altitude, too low. Speed, dropping. Distance, impossible. He looked left. Manhattan. Right. New Jersey. Below. One of the busiest cities in the world. Every second mattered. He replied in a calm, steady voice. "Unable. We can't make it back. We're going to be in the Hudson." Those words would later echo in history. He wasn't just making a flight decision. He was deciding the fate of 155 souls, and everyone on the ground below. Passengers began to realize something was wrong. The engines were silent. There was no climb, only descent. Flight attendants yelled, "Brace for impact! Brace! Brace!" Some passengers prayed, others whispered goodbye. A few, too shocked to move, stared out the windows, seeing the city pass beneath them. In the cockpit, Sully fought the laws of physics. No power, no altitude, just experience, instinct, and faith. He guided the powerless plane over the George Washington Bridge, clearing it by barely 900 feet. Ahead, the cold gray stretch of the Hudson River waited like a final chance. Sully adjusted the nose slightly upward, controlling the glide angle by millimeters. Every sound mattered. Every movement could mean death or survival. And then, impact. The Airbus hit the Hudson with a massive splash, skidding across the icy water, sending waves crashing into the air. Inside, screaming, chaos, relief, disbelief. But miraculously, no explosion, no fire. The aircraft stayed intact. People, alive, inside the cabin, freezing river water began to rush in. Panic spread, but order followed. Flight attendants opened the exits. Passengers climbed onto the wings, shivering in sub-zero temperatures. From above, Manhattan looked down in shock, a plane floating on the Hudson River, surrounded by white steam. Within minutes, ferryboats and rescue teams rushed toward the sinking plane. Captain Sully walked the aisle one last time, soaked and freezing, calling out, "Is anyone still there?" Only when he was sure every single person was out did he finally leave the aircraft. The last man to step off the plane was the one who never lost control. All 155 passengers and crew members survived. Not a single life was lost. The media called it the miracle on the Hudson. But when asked later, Captain Sully said quietly, "It wasn't a miracle. It was teamwork, experience, and a lifetime of preparation." Still, the world saw it differently. For a moment, humanity was reminded that calm, courage, and compassion could rewrite fate. Days later, investigators from the NTSB examined every decision. Was it possible for Sully to return to LaGuardia? Could he have landed elsewhere? Computer simulations said yes, but when they ran the tests again, with the actual delay of human reaction time, every simulated plane crashed before reaching the runway. Only Sully's real-life choice worked. His instinct, his timing, his courage saved everyone. The NTSB report concluded Captain Sullenberger's decision to land in the Hudson was the only viable option. Sully became a hero overnight, but the man himself stayed humble. When reporters asked how it felt to be called a savior, he simply said, "I was just doing my job." Across the world, people called him the man who turned fear into flight. President Obama invited him to the White House. Hollywood made a film, Sully, starring Tom Hanks. But even then, the real man avoided fame. He said, "It's not about me. It's about what's possible when people stay calm under pressure." Years later, survivors of Flight 1549 still talk about that day, not as a tragedy, but as a reminder that miracles are made by human hands. One passenger said, "When the plane hit the water, I thought we were dead, but then I realized someone up there refused to give up." Captain Sullenberger retired in 2010. He continued advocating for aviation safety and became a symbol of integrity and leadership worldwide. Even today, pilots study his decision-making as a masterclass in courage under pressure. Some stories aren't about power or fame. They're about choices made in seconds that define a lifetime. Lives were saved not by luck, but by calm in chaos, by faith in experience, by a man who refused to surrender to fear. As the sun set that evening over the Hudson, the city didn't just witness a rescue, It witnessed human greatness in its purest form. The miracle on the Hudson. One flight, one decision. One man who refused to let 155 hearts stop beating. This is not just history. This is humanity, beyond the pages.